Hey, Dennis.
Hey, how's it going?
Oh, a little bit annoyed. Looks like I have not been on the stream until now. So we've just had a blank broadcast the entire time, but it's there. But no
Oh,
call. All my words.
oh no,
Let's
that's
see
all
if I
right.
can sum it up. Sum it up in this conversation. Congratulations.
Thanks, man. That was a good game. So you were sharing the screen, but you hadn't added yourself, so the audio didn't come through.
Yep.
Got it.
Yep. Rookie mistake.
No,
Great
it
defense.
happens.
I mean, just what I've been saying to myself all this time is just the incredible defensive calls all game long, end to end. He had very few opportunities for his guys who, like Lofton, etc., just had one in the first half on a short pass cast wrong in his card. That was it.
Right.
There were no other opportunities. You called it beautifully through the entire way.
Yeah. When he did, there was several times where I made a wrong call, and it would like go on the receiver reading on a 7. You know what I mean? Like he had the chance to get a long gain
I
or
don't
a
know
big
about
play.
several. I don't know about several. I think you're selling yourself short there. I thought it was masterful defense.
Well, I remember one with Lofton. I remember one with Mitchell, Lydell Mitchell. I had it called wrong. I had a couple empty zones where he threw it there, and it didn't land for him. So even the times where I made a bad call, I was getting a good result. Hey Jay.
Hey, Jay. Well, let me just say this: those bad calls on defense were few and far between. I haven't seen a defensive game called that well. I don't think in a long, long time. I mean, that was just a very impressive defensive set of defensive calls.
Well, the rule set helps. You're not getting any dump offs. You're not getting any, white dice 6 stuff, and that also limits the play calls. And I know what Jay likes to do with Stabler. I've watched him. I told him in the chat just now. I was almost regretting, like, I should have taken Stabler. What am I doing? The way Jay used him, with his running game and his good run blocking. I had it. I think Stabler was the last quarterback or second to the last quarterback taken. That that would have been a smart play for me because as long as you avoid the 10, that's a great card. And with my runners, that would have been, I think, a better way for my offense to work than going with the wimpy, just avoid the interceptions Staubach card. But it did bite it bit him in the butt today with the snap fumble and the picks. But for the most part, the way he used them in the regular season and the playoffs, I thought it was a great job.
Yeah, and Jay, tough loss there. I thought you called a very good defensive game too. You had your back up against the wall a few times with some short fields where you couldn't stop the touchdown. But for the most part, another very well called game defensively.
Well, you can you hear me okay?
Actually, you're a bit low on volume.
I don't know that I can control that.
Just get closer to your mic, wherever it might be, and talk louder. Those of you might.
Does this help? I don't really even know where
that does help. Yep. So more of that.
Okay. This is about the best we can do with it. So, yeah, we gave it our best shot. With Dennis's offense, you can call him right and he's still going to pound you, or you can call him wrong and he's going to really hurt you. So, no one can be right all the time, and that is what it is. His team is fantastic. I knew that he was going to be a handful the minute he was able to draft that run.
Hey Jay, real quick, I got a quick idea. You see at the bottom of your screen, there's a button that says Cam Mic. If you click that and then click audio, see if you can change your microphone, because I think what you're doing is using the default, the built-in microphone. But if you use, is there another choice there? I bet you it'll work better. If you click on audio, then under mic, do you have other choices besides the default?
Test 1, 2, 3. Is that better?
Yeah, that seems to be a little bit better. Is there another one?
Try this one. Test 1, 2, 3. Is that better?
A little bit. How about, is that it?
Try this one.
Test 1, 2, 3.
That's it. That's the one.
All right. So, yeah, no, I guess all I was saying is Dennis's team is fantastic. He's as good as there is as a coach out there, and give it our best shot. Nobody can be right every play, I don't think. Unless you can see what the other guy's calling. I don't think anyone's going to be right every play. And So better team won.
I was struggling in that first half because um, your defensive ratings are great, and I kept landing on the D card. So it was like, yeah, I would get a guess wrong run, but it wouldn't go anywhere. So I thought
First
that was a good
quarter,
idea.
second quarter, that was not the case. I had when the game started with a touchdown, and then turned into the long gain. I was all right. I knew that obviously I'm not complaining about getting a long gain, but 35-yard drive start the 35-yard line is a nice drive start, but that sort of said, yeah, you had a lot of breaks to get here. They're about to dry up here soon. So that's how it played out. But I really, you're fantastic, coach. Like I said, the first quarter when I was getting all those breaks, you called just play after play after play to thwart any sort of real momentum. It could have easily been 14-0, or something like that. As it was 3-0, and then the snake bite started. Right, that's what I was calling whenever Snake had a turnover. We started getting those snake bites, and we've been lucky to avoid them for quite some time now. And so we were due, and started with a snap fumble, which there are plenty of them. And we had one of those the first game in a crucial point. But the snake bite hit right there, and then the next drive, another snake bite. Next thing you know, it was 17-3, and it's hard to come back, especially against a coach of your ilk, and with the way I have to play my offense, it's hard to. We're not a big comeback team,
Yeah.
So and then we've got a few guest run wrongs, and for a while there, it seemed like Mitchell was only hitting his 5, and so we couldn't do anything with that. But then. You were calling great, and you're the better team. Well done,
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thanks, I appreciate that. That was and it was a great run for you to get here. I think, like I said, it was fun watching both of our teams in the playoffs. I had some scares as in the earlier rounds at times, but as long as my guys don't fumble, that just makes it so much easier. When they slipped to pick 5, I was like, okay, I'm taking them, and I didn't even know about their fumble issues then. But you can fumbles over the long season. Yeah, you'll get hit, but in a playoff run in a short series of games, you can avoid them like I did in this game and in the playoffs in general. I didn't get hit too badly with the fumbles, so I was lucky on that end.
Yeah, so you moved a lane at the goal line there, just trying to minimize your chances, presumably. And then of course to Harris on that final drive, presumably for the fumble again.
Yeah, exactly.
But let's go back to the first quarter. So, I mean that's like you said, Jay. The first quarter was full of you call great defense for 3 quarters. That first quarter, there's plenty of guess wrong opportunities for Dennis that he could not hit the rolls on. And for a minute there, it felt like, what's going on? This could be a bad set of rolls for Seattle, which of course didn't last the whole game. But when you got the ball back, it was those defensive calls when you're in between the 20, when Vegas was in Seattle's 20 to 30 yard line, flirting with Corral's better field goal range, where that defense really put the clamp down. And Dennis, you have an average defense, and of course,
average good, a good pass.
Average good. Thank you. Okay, and it can all be made up for by good calls on D, and doesn't matter what your rating is if you're calling it right. And each of those times in that first quarter, when Vegas got close, you stepped up with some really nice calls.
Yeah, Jay and I have played each other so much. We kind of know each other's tendencies. I caught him in that one 3rd down and long where, he figured I was going to run it, so he called run, and I got a receiver rating on Walker's card. I thought the play of the game though was that 4th down stop when I didn't really deserve to get the stop. I called pass. He did an in run, and it landed on that 5. That was biting him all game.
That was a rough roll. You had a
that
few
was-
referrals there,
Yeah.
Jay, but Dennis didn't give you many opportunities. But the James Lofton short pass on his receiver card guessed wrong. That was a big one. That fourth down was a big one, where he gave you just a couple opportunities, and each time you just couldn't find the reading.
unlucky.
It is what it is. That's how they roll. My receivers weren't hitting today. I don't know that I had a single catch off a receiver card. Maybe a 3-yarder on a flat or something. But so those are little things that you don't always think of or you don't see, but they're big as far as down and distance, right? And and the flat or obviously a short pass, if you make the catch, it's a first down. But there's the little ones that you miss here and there, and it is what it is. Like I said, we've been living on borrowed time. We had to win 6 games in a row just to get to this point. So at one point we're 6-7. We had to win. So we've been up against the wall here for quite a long time. We were due. So obviously like that, Dennis, you said when it slipped to 5, I would have taken that team first. I would have taken that run first, despite the fumbles. Right? You get half of fumbles back, and they aren't going to be returned for touchdowns. Someone might try to get a scoop and score, but we know that the odds of giving it right back are better than the scoop and score. So, that had to be a lot of fun to play with that team this year.
Yeah, it was. It was a good, it was it was an interesting set. I thought that unit stood out, and that's what you're looking for in these drafts. Try to get a unit that separates itself from the others. But there was a lot of fun teams, and it was a good season. So next year we'll try to do something a little different. Maybe take it back to the 60s to really mix it up. Because we've been kind of inching our way back from the 80s down to the 70s. Maybe we'll bounce to the 60s or jump up to the 90s or something like that.
87.
It's fun to move around a little bit. Yeah.
A couple questions, Jay. We didn't see Chandler much in this game. Less than usual. What were your thoughts around the use of Wes Chandler versus Seattle today?
I actually don't use them that much. The Stabler's card is so bad long, and that's really where Chandler is a weapon. He's a 12-18 on his long, and he's just a 22 on his short. So when I go 3 wides, that's what I'll do now. But sometimes. Of course, when Dennis shows blitz, that took me out of it a little bit too. If I decide I want to keep Wilson in there for his 7 pass blocking, and then I try to maybe get a run where I can give myself a doable 4th down, something like that. But if you look over the course of the year, Chandler doesn't have many catches or a whole lot of targets. Just because I don't like to throw long with them, there's a greater chance of an interception on Stabler's card long than there is a completion, and so that's sort of where that's at. Yeah.
And then turning to the blitz decisions for both of you, because you both had favorable matchups, and Jay, I think you blitzed a little, maybe just a little bit less than last game here. And Dennis, you blitz with some frequency, not consistently, but with some frequency. What were just the regular old thoughts about not wanting to give the big play in the sniper scope? Is that what led to not consistent blitzing by both sides despite the good matchups?
Well, he's a run first team, right? So I need to call more run, if I'm calling run and leaving that sniper scope open, it's just a little bit more trouble. And obviously, Wesley Walker is such a beast, guessed wrong, that we're not going to have that extra chance of getting hurt by calling run.
Yep.
And
the sacks were just instrumental to your win last game. McGee was just an MVP, and as far as I was concerned. And then on your side, Dennis, you blitzed and you got a few this game.
Yeah, I didn't really like the blitz like I might normally because of Tim Wilson. That 6'7" blocking back takes some of the sting out of my pass rush. And I don't have good linebacker pass rushers. So and especially once I got the lead, I was like, okay, I'm going to tone it down a little bit. Don't want to give up the scope. Don't want to give up the 0 min in the long pass zone, even though Stabler's not good at it. Jay won't ignore it entirely. So that was my thinking. The 7 blocking back and once I had the lead, don't give up the big play.
And another theme offensively of the game, I thought, and I don't know if there's a good answer to this question, other way, this is just the way the dice play out, is that you were moving your linebackers up and back, Dennis, with some frequency. And Jay, it seems you responded by throwing in the flats a little bit more than you might used to. And Dennis was just guessing them consistently correctly, had him back when he needed to. And those few times he didn't, you were coming up empty on the rolls, which I think you maybe got 1 10-yard gain on the defensive card, 0 men, but other times you're just coming up blanks. And
and that was about it. There was one time we threw a flat to my other wide receiver there, not Lofton, but Thompson. We got a flat on him, and guessed wrong, and we missed the hit. That would have been nice, but
Carpenter missed one too, I think. Guessed wrong.
Yeah, Mitchell as well.
So yeah, I mean, that's just how they go, right? When things are going well, you're getting yards guessed right. When things are going wrong, you're not making your opponent pay for being guessed wrong. That's just how it goes sometimes. But overall, it is what it is. He's as good. He's an awesome coach, and it was a fun run.
This was, you just got diced this game. This is a diced game. I think it was rough.
It is what it is. It was fun.
I really like this the result of this game, because I think the defensive calls, I think, dictated the outcome more than anything. I mean, yeah, of course there was missed ice here, but I like games that end this way, where you can really see how
coaching makes a difference.
Yeah, Dennis, you coached your defense in a way that just, if you look at these ball possessions for Vegas, this is not typical for Vegas. Jay's able to move the ball, running it, getting the guest wrong on Stabler's short pass because he establishes the run. You were guessing correctly, and it really made a big difference. So it was a satisfying game to watch.
Yeah, that ball possession chart.
Okay, so guys, sorry I got to run. Thanks for everything, Anthony. Nice to meet you, and Dennis, congratulations, bud.
Thanks, I appreciate it.
All right,
but that ball position chart also shows that I didn't move the ball very well either. I had the short fields because he got the snake bites, but there was only 2 drives all game that went more than 10 plays, one for each of us.
Right in this area here, Jay played just fantastic defense, keeping it a 2-score game.
And I was okay. I didn't want to take any chances because I had 2 touchdown lead. So, yeah, maybe I wasn't as aggressive as I might normally be. I didn't go for any 4th downs, but let the game play out. Just keep eating that clock away. But
and you were pinning them back. I mean, that's if my call would have come through, it's exactly what I said in the call, was that you're not going to go for 4th downs here as much as you want to get a 3-score lead. You want to play for that 3-score lead via field position if you can, and. But it was just impressive how he came up with stop after stop after stop. So,
yeah, for sure. All right. Well, thanks a lot, Anthony. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Dennis. Congratulations.
Hey, thanks.
So long.